friends of Mike and Julie's going back many years, but Mike and I go back even further to high school. Before this year, we didn't know much
We didn't know anything.
about Filipino wedding tradition and what ceremonial sponsors were. Thanks to YouTube, Google, and a very patient Julie, we were able to figure out what exactly we signed up for. When Mike and Julie asked us to be their wedding sponsors, it was on the day of our 10-year anniversary. It took some time to wrap our heads around why they would choose us to be standing up here in front of you out of all the people they knew. Then it occurred to us. They asked us on our 10-year anniversary. We never had the 7-year itch, we know all each other's habits, and we're still here. I know we're not the record holders in relationship, I'm looking at you, McKellar, but I think we got this married thing on lockdown.
Anyways, that's enough about us. This is supposed to be the part where we pass down wisdom and the tricks to a successful marriage. For example, communication is probably the most important thing. You need to be able to have those awkward and difficult conversations about money and how to raise your kids so that you can move on to better chats like where your next vacation destination will be. Another big part of communication in marriage is knowing that sometimes what you hear isn't always exactly what they mean. You need to know that, no, I don't actually need to buy this watch. It just means I'm going to buy it in a few months when I think you've forgotten about this. Sometimes, sorry. Thank you. Sometimes, these shoes were on sale just actually means I'd suggest not looking at the Visa bill this month. All that being said, if Julie says, gago ka, it actually means, Mike, you're an idiot. Regardless of what you're talking about, it's important to remember that even in an argument, it's not you guys against each other, it's Team Manning against the world.
As a couple, you're going to have your own language, consisting of various hand gestures, facial expressions, and eye movements. You'll also need to learn the correct and incorrect times to use the super useful yes dear. Don't worry about the other people giving you funny looks, not knowing that means hot tap, cold tap, check the water.
Yes, dear.
I know that they say that the little things make the biggest difference, and whoever they are, they're not far off. Being honest, caring, and patient and forgiving comes pretty naturally when you're in love with someone. All the stuff in between is what really counts.
Mike, never stop courting Julie. Do sweet things for her just because. Take her on dates. Hold her hand in public. Surprise her with foot rubs and bubble baths. Make her feel like a princess and that every day is your first date.
Julie, yours is much simpler. Feed him, bring him a beer or 3, and touch him in his bathing suit spots every once in a while. That's pretty much it.
All joking aside, we've seen you guys together and we can tell that you're already doing everything right. So just keep it up and you'll see that going the distance is actually quite easy. You've already figured out that Julie needs to live in a mini zoo. I noticed that was mentioned already. That Mike can't pass a store window if it's got the latest gadget in it. You've already made long distances work, you've bought a house, and you've put together one hell of a wedding.
I couldn't agree more. The venue rocks, the food's great, especially the prepared steak. You both look stunning. Mike, you look much better with your clothes on. Now I guess I should give some backstory because I'm getting some weird looks from some people in the back. On the morning, Mike was a groomsman at my wedding a few years ago. On the morning of our ceremony, I went by his hotel room to make sure he was awake and to let him know what the plans were for the day. I knocked on his door and he came out of the hotel room for a chat, wearing his left hand and a smile. I never broke eye contact, buddy. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
So I don't have any stories of seeing Julie naked, but I can say that she writes amazing novel-length texts on a touchscreen phone. She can filter out only the most adorable animals to get me through my workday emails. And she's been an amazing Fitbit inspiration. I'm so glad that we've gotten to be a part of each other's lives, and I hope to continue the trend. Speaking of which, when's our next cruise?
No, we're totally serious. When? And you're all invited, and Mike's paying. So let's raise our glasses to the bride and groom, to an awesome wedding and free vacations. Congratulations.